Welcome to eLab, your ultimate basketball laboratory, where we dissect the game from every angle.
You are watching a master at work.
Yo, welcome back to the eLab podcast. Today I got two special guests with me. I got my guy Ken Anderson, and I got my boy T. How y'all guys doing, man?
What up?
Doing good.
So we got some interesting trade news last night. I'm so mad that I wasn't able to get it off before because I just had a feeling that Julius Randle was gonna get traded. But we got Julius Randle. He got traded. Him and Dante DiVincenzo. I can't even say his name. DiVincenzo got traded out to the T-Wolves for Karl Anthony Towns. How do we feel? Do we think? Is it an upgrade, or did any team win the trade? Do we expect anything more from either team? To be honest, I had the Knicks. Pretty high on my list already for my power rankings. I had the Knicks at least third in the East, behind the Celtics and the Bucks. So with this, it kind of, I don't know if it changes some things for me, man. But yeah, so what's the takeaways? How you guys feel about the Knicks and the T-Wolves, winners and losers of this and stuff like that, man? I want to go. You go whichever way.
I feel like the Knicks got better for some reason. I don't know why the T-Wolves traded Karl Anthony Towns for. I don't know. I don't know.
I think
y'all was right there. Y'all just needed another piece, like another score.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, did Julius Randle play with the Knicks under Tom Thibodeau? Yeah. Was he out there with him? I'm wondering if it had some. Well, I did. Well, okay. So first off, Karl Anthony Towns had like a $220 million contract. From a money perspective, they just got rid of a big contract. That's kind of where they at with it. My thoughts was that I'm thinking that they believe in Naz Reid. I think the T-Wolves think Naz Reid can be that second guy. He just had such a great playoffs last year. I don't think he can score at the same volume as what's my guy, Karl Anthony Towns. I don't think he scored the same value. But as far as what they like, and they need as far as like a defensive guy, somebody that can guard Joker and stuff, he did pretty well against Joker that last playoff. So maybe that's what they're thinking. And then you add Dante DiVincenzo to give you the buckets right off the bench. I don't know. Maybe I can't say why, because here's the other part. Was Anthony Edwards clearly better than KAT? You know what I mean? Like he was there. He was the one guy.
Yes,
he's the number one guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know if KAT knew that. Is what I'm saying. Cause
you ain't got to know that or nothing. Your ego can't blind you on the facts, man. We all seen it. We all know what time it is. So in my opinion, I'm gonna give you an honest thing. I think that the Timberwolves won. The reason why I say that is because you bring another gritty defender in Dante. You already got Jaden McDaniels, probably one of the top 10 perimeter defenders out there. And you already got Naz Reid. Naz Reid from LSU, he's a dog. He is a three-way scorer. He can get it in the buckets, going to the cup. He can hit the mid-range, and he's deadly from the three. He's already your stretch big that what they already believe filled in the void for what Karl Anthony Towns brought into the table. And I think that when you said you don't think he's a better scorer or as good of a scorer, I highly disagree with you. The reason why I say is he didn't have the opportunity to. He didn't get the minutes to. He will show you today, is he a better scorer once he gets the bigger role and the more minutes. But then you kind of ask yourself, where do you even put Julius Randle in there? Are you going to continue to have Naz Reid on the bench and him being the same exact role that he was when he was with KAT? Or are you going to make Nas start and is Juju going to come off the bench? And then with the Knicks, now you got to pick and pop big, and he makes the floor a lot bigger for Jalen Brunson. So I think that it was a better move for Jalen Brunson than it was for the Knicks, because with a player like Jalen Brunson, where he gives you so much pressure, he attacks, screen and roll to death. and then you got somebody that can just pick and pop instead of pick and roll. Now it's a lot harder to defend. Now you really got to deal with Jalen Brunson. And I think that this is a win for Jalen Brunson, but I don't know if it's a win for the team. Because we done seen Karl Anthony Towns on good teams. We done seen Karl Anthony Towns on bad teams. And at the end of the day, he's the same guy, 25 and 10. And at the end of the day, nothing's wrong with that. But he hasn't had a remarkable playoff run. He hasn't had a remarkable playoff series. But when you got somebody of the caliber of Jalen Brunson, it's like you left Anthony Edwards, and now you dealing with Jalen Brunson. They both remarkable on the offensive end, but like, how much better did you get on either system? I feel like the only thing that's different is what that particular player brings to the table and who the best player on the team that he's going to, right? So KAT left Anthony Edwards, and he's gonna go deal with Jalen Brunson. He's the pick and pop guy. Julius Randle is more the bang out, face up, 15-foot, things of that nature. He's going to bring a lot of ISO ball when there's already ISO ball in Minnesota with Edwards. So you want another scorer, but how much room do you have on that court if you're not going to add shooters? So you got to ask yourself that question. And then it's like, what you want? Two defenders? We want Jaden McDaniels, Dante, and where, you know what I'm saying? You got to figure out how you going to spread these minutes. Because, you know, in Minnesota, them boys play 30 to 40 minutes to the bell. You know what I mean? So who's going to get that time? Who's going to take the last shot when it matters, when Edwards is not shooting at a good high clip that night? Who's going to be that dog? There's a lot of question marks that they got to answer, bro.
That's true. Ken, what you think, man? Who you got as a winner or a loser of this trade?
I think I agree with his take, but I'm finna say more Minnesota as a team. I think Minnesota as a team got 10 times better. I ain't gonna say 10 times better, but I'm gonna say they got better because they draft picks. They got their little point guard out of Kentucky.
Oh, they did get the boy Rob Dillingham.
Yeah, they got him.
You got Terrence Shannon out there.
He's crazy. He's crazy. That's the
why
sleeper pick. That boy from Illinois is cold.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I said then you add Julius Randle and Dante to the roster. I feel like it's a better team. But it's the East. It's the East. Anybody can come out the East. I mean, I want
to say I think that you're lying when you say the better team, though, man. I think I want to say that you're lying right now, man. I think I do because New York's so cold. New York,
they are.
They can defend. Them boys can defend. You got the whole Villanova team
to the finals.
Dante.
Yeah, I had them going to the finals
last year or didn't they roll right now?
Last year.
Okay.
Because I didn't believe the Celtics. I didn't. I'm sorry. I'm a Heat fan. I didn't believe the Celtics.
I didn't either.
But they got one. I mean,
yeah.
But you gotta understand when it comes to these little playoff runs and these finals, aspirations. You gotta understand. Everybody knows Minnesota designed a team to beat LA, and now New York designed this team to beat Boston. You got a whole bunch of defenders, and then you got Jalen, and now you got KAT. Now you got the 1-2 punch, and you got a whole lot of defenders, and everybody can shoot the three at a high clip.
But they let their center go, and that was a big piece.
I know. But if you tell KAT in the mirror, he gonna answer. He gonna say that he can play center comfortably.
It's true. But can he play? Can he get the blocks and rebounds that the other center had?
Isaiah Hartenstein was a defensive. I ain't gonna say juggernaut, but he was a presence. He was definitely
a problem. He was a problem.
They still do. Robinson though. They still got Mitchell.
Yeah, but you got to buy into that. Do you want to defend? If you're going to take the back seat for Jalen Brunson, are you going to want to defend? Are you going to want to rebound more? Are you going to be more vocal in the pick and roll? Are you going to do those type of things? These are the big questions that you ask New York. But then you got to, around him, his supporting cast, bro, he got nothing but dog-ass defenders on New York. So he don't have to do nothing on the perimeter. Just send him over there and then go ahead and use your size, man. You're 7 foot. Why you can't defend? Why you can't block? Why you can't rim protect? These are the things that you should perform to.
That's the question with Karl Anthony Towns that everybody have.
Yeah.
Why you can't play? You play. We know you. Hey, bro, you can play offense crazy.
Yeah.
But what about your defense? What about your rebound? Yeah, you gonna get rebounds because you right there at the goal. When it comes time to like, can you go lock up Embiid if we need you to?
Because that's gonna be a force in Philly.
No. No.
Yeah, we just gonna answer that question. That question is no.
If we go to the finals, and Jokic come out the West, can you hold Jokic?
No.
No.
So that's what I'm saying. The other guy, yeah, we know for a fact when it comes to defense, okay, he held his own. But we talking about Karl Anthony Towns. His nickname is he's soft. I mean, I'm not nickname, but he's soft when it comes to defense. We know you can score. We know you can get you 25 just in your sleep. But
Wait.
that's the one thing that, hey, if he can play defense, they can go all the way to the finals. Damn near. I don't know if they're gonna win because I think the West is loaded with teams. Anybody?
It's all
from the
about
West.
matchups, man. And I just
Yeah.
think that defensively, New York 1 through 5, they are a real gritty team, and then they added Michael, and I just think that it looks a whole lot different than it did last year, and in a good way. And I think that we have to kind of see how the season goes and see how they do against Philly, see how they do against Miami, see how they do against Boston, see how the matchups go about. And if they convincingly can show me that they is beating on them guys, hey, they gonna make some noise like you said, Ken.
I want to go back to something, Ted, you said earlier about how does Julius Randle fit into that Timberwolves system. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if they traded him. That was actually something I was going to say. I wouldn't be surprised if you traded him because, I mean,
Ant-Man is the man.
if Ant-Man, no Nas can hold it down, we can still get some valuable people for Julius Randle. We can get something valuable. I mean, this is something I was thinking about. I don't know if they will, but I'm just saying, like, I mean, why keep him if Nas can be the guy?
Yeah, because you ask yourself this, bro. Is this point of the career, is this Julius Randle better than the idea or potential of what Nas can become if you give him more minutes and make him more like a bigger role on that offense, right? We already know Ant-Man is that guy. He's the number one option. We not disagreeing on that. But when it comes to the clear number 2, who is the clear number 2 now on Minnesota? Answer me that comfortably.
Right.
Julius Randle.
You think it's Julius?
So if
now,
if you think it's Julius Randle, then you keep him. If you think that he has good trade value, get him out of there and get some more weapons and make Nas Reed the guy that you thought that KAT was going to actually play. Like those particular roles and responsibilities, let Nas Reed get the ability. And if he fail you, you ain't even sign him to no big contract, so it's okay.
It's a fact. It's a fact. My other thing with the Knicks, man, I think. Let me ask y'all this. Let me make sure. Is Karl Anthony Towns the clear number 2 option on the Knicks? Like, I'm asking because Mikal Bridges. Is Mikal, you know what I mean? Like, is it obvious that Mikal is third? Or
no, it's not obvious to me.
Okay. I don't, and see, the only reason I asked, I doubt it, is because we saw that Mikal Bridges averaged 26 with the Nets when he was able to go solo, when he was able to do his thing. Now, to tie it together, I don't know if Karl Anthony Towns has the grit to handle a New York Knicks crowd. I don't think he's gonna be able to handle that attention. He's already faking in his voice like it's deeper than it is, right? So if you can't, in my mind, if you're not strong enough mentally to for that Minnesota stuff, you going out to New York, and if you're the third option, there's a lot less pressure on you, is what I'm getting at. There's a lot less pressure for you to have. If you go out now, he go out to New York and he averaging 18 and 12, he's good. He's golden. But if he go out there and we're expecting you to be the second guy, I can see Karl Anthony Towns crumbling. I can see him just, hey, man.
If you couldn't handle Jimmy Butler talking trash to you and telling you that you need to be a bigger and better, like, you think that New York Times ain't about to fry this guy and have him mentally?
I'm talking about the crowd. The crowd is booing the team. Like, y'all not playing. like, come on, man.
So that's the reason I asked, is because with Julius Randle was already solidified to New York. Like, they was actually already thinking that they was gonna be trash, and then they got Jalen Brunson. They was like, we lucked. Well, I ain't gonna say we lucked up, but man, them winning in the second round or making it to the second round of the playoffs was I ain't gonna say a blessing, but it was not expected, right?
They looked at that as a finals appearance.
Yeah, they was good
because the Knicks been bad for so long.
Yeah. So now this year, Y'all pick up, y'all keep OG. You pick up Mikal Bridges. You get Carl Anthony. Now the expectation is Eastern Conference Finals. You know what I'm saying? And
okay, but you got to ask your 3 best players. Do they know that?
yeah, and that's what I'm saying. That's exactly.
Because let me ask you this, E. Is Karl Anthony Towns' best year in Minnesota that much better than the last year of Mikal Bridges? I understand it's 2 different positions, but let's just look.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask you in positionless. Is it that much better than what Mikal Bridges did last year?
It was like 19-8, maybe 19-6.
So
24-10.
okay. So is it that much better than what Mikal Bridges did last year for his team as the number 1? Okay. So like you said, the pressure is a lot less when you conform to be the number 3 option. But then it get confusing when you put 3 offensive people like that. Russ, Melo, PG. That was a confusing team. And we all thought that was going to be super exciting. It was going to be deep in the playoffs. And they got there, it looked very, very blurry. It got muddy. It got sticky. They didn't know what was going on. They didn't know who was going to who the ball.
Team,
you know what I mean?
I had that team going to the Western Conference Finals.
Okay. And they broke our hearts.
The Clippers?
No. Russ, Paul George, and Melo. I thought that team was gonna go deep.
That's what
we didn't know. We didn't know who was who. Paul George was number 3 in the MVP, and he was the 3rd option on OKC. I just want you to make it make sense to me. So what I'm saying is, does Karl Anthony Towns have the humility?
Paul wasn't the 3rd option on there. He was the 2nd.
Man, Melo was getting off, bro.
He was. Melo wasn't. He wasn't better.
Melo was getting. Go look at the tapes. Check the tapes. That's what you be telling me. Check the tape.
Man, what messed up that team is Ricky Rubio and what's the other guy with Paul George was holding? I forgot.
Joe Ingles.
Ingles, yes. Them 2 was terrible.
Don't get me started.
Don't get me started, man. Don't get me started. The first conversation I had with E when I used to hoop with E back in the day is how Joe Ingles used to tear Paul George behind up.
He used to tear him up. And I was so pissed because I'm like, he seems scared to guard him. There's no reason for any player to do a jab step and you fall. There's no reason.
We gotta put that on him too, though.
Go ahead. What you say? My bad. What you say, Ken?
I said Russell Westbrook too. You gotta put that on him too, because Ricky Rubio got in his head.
I don't like Paul George. I told you I'm biased. I'm hating. Paul George. Paul George be on the same bucket with Michael Jordan, man. They all, man. Put him over there, man. I'm over there, man.
Nah. Speaking of Paul George, what do y'all think of this 76ers team with Paul George?
You want to go? You want me to go? I got something to say. I go. My expectations. I said this a while ago. My expectations is Tyrese Maxey is gonna take them as far as they're gonna go. So we already know Joel Embiid body of work. We know what he gonna do. He probably gonna play 56, 60 games. Probably missing some games in the playoffs. And Tyrese Maxey is gonna have to win a lot of games to me in order for them to get over the hump. What I don't want to see is Paul George on the court by himself running the offense. Paul George needs to be the 3rd guy. So if we doing the offsets, if it's Maxey, Caleb Martin, I don't know who they 4 is, but if Maxey, Caleb Martin, PG, whoever the 4, and Joel, and we sub out Joel, Maxey don't need to come off the court. I don't ever want to see 2nd quarter, 3rd quarter where Paul George is running the offense and we playing through him. You know why I don't want to see it? Because he got on his own podcast and told us he wasn't the guy. He got on his podcast. Let me tell you what he said. He got on there. He said, man, I come down, I'm playing defense. I wrote the ball go from the left wing to the right wing, so I go from the left and drop down to the post. I guard the post, get hit, I fall. Right? I fall. I'm hit, the big man hit me, I fall, I contest the shot. I get the ball. Now it's my turn to go back and score on offense. I'm tired. I said, did you just describe a basketball play and say you're tired? That was a regular basketball play. And you're supposed to be the one. You're supposed to be the guy to get a team over the hump or be the guy. He's not the guy. That's my bad. I said all that to say Paul George is not the guy. if the Sixers are gonna do well or go get over the hump, it's gonna be because of Tyrese Maxey blossoming into the superstar that we expect, or not expecting him to be, or hoping that he become. So my money on the Sixers doing well is slim because I think Joel Embiid is not gonna be healthy. I don't think Paul George is the guy, and then Tyrese gonna have to up his score. And if Tyrese can get to about 24, 25, 26 per game, then we'll start talking. Then I start believing in him. But I don't believe. I got the Sixers probably a low six, maybe 7 seed in the East, man. I got them low, man. I do. I'm sorry. And it's the hater in me. Listen, I'm a hater. I'm hating. I'm hating.
They might lie. Just me listening to you got my blood pressure boiling.
Go ahead. What? Talk to me. Go ahead.
In my opinion, man, I think that the same issues that we just discussed and touched with New York going through as far as finding their identity, that's the same thing Philly doing. We don't know how good these teams going to be on wax. They look good on the roster when you look at black and white. But when it's time to hoop, those are when all the questions get answered. And the same way you say, does the front office want Paul George to be the number 2 option and tell Tyrese Maxey to take a step back? Or does they want Paul George to be the 3rd option like we want Karl Anthony Towns to be? So it's less pressure. You can just go out there and hoop, and then the media ain't going to kill you. Now you're not listening to ESPN every night because you played bad. Because at the end of the day, he wasted so much time stealing money in the Clippers. Who the hell is you now? Who are you? What is your identity? What is your role? We know what Joel going to bring, and we paid Tyrese all this money. What are you going to bring to the table? Are you going to step up, or we just going to talk about you in 10, 15 years like you one of the biggest losers we ever seen, but you were super talented? Because we done talked about a lot of guys on the perimeter that were God-given talent, and then they was taken away from the game because of injury. This guy has overcame his injury that he had in the Olympics. He still showed that he was a solid caliber guy, but you wasted time. You playing around out here. You ain't even trying to win on a high competitive level. You can hear by his body language and his post-game interviews in the playoffs, this dude don't even want to win. He just out there to steal a check, and he just ironically is a good basketball player. So why are we praising them type of dudes?
Yeah. They gave up in 2020, didn't they? Didn't you tell me that? That was they just reeled it in. Well, one of you guys told me that. They did. Yeah, I forgot they came out. Just gave up. They was up 3-1.
Lou Williams and Patrick Beverly was like like they gave up. Like, bro, don't you know everybody wanted to see y'all in the Lakers in the Western Conference Finals? Like, what is y'all doing?
That's a fact, man. So I don't have no belief in the Sixers, man.
I really don't. I really don't. Paul George showed us who he was.
He showed us who he was. And he's 30.
How many times we gonna get fooled? We already know who he is. Come on, bro. I think as a consensus of all of us, we don't like Paul George.
I believe
Paul George is very mid.
But he got. I mean, if you want to say straight hoop, like he can hoop. But if you talking about
who cares about that? Is you a dog?
Yeah, like
is you a dog?
Yeah, he can hoop, but that's all. He can't take you nowhere.
You know what happened? He moved from the West to the East because he was tired of Luka being his daddy. That's just it.
Oof.
He was running from that work.
Luka was thanking him. Him and Gore. That was tough.
Yeah. You talk about 2 of the top wing defenders of our era, and they got Morris on them. They had the Morris twin getting torched out there because none of them wanted to go out there and defend. And now Luka is on a whole different level than he was when he first ran into the Clippers 2 years ago, 3 years ago, whatever the case may be. Now we're going to talk about Dallas with Clay. That's another thing that we need to touch on. But that's up to y'all.
Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
So I am I hate this whole notion that somehow Clay is gonna get better looks at the basket now that he's playing with Luka and Kyrie. I'm like, what are y'all talking? Steph Curry is the ultimate decoy, get you open guy. If you can't get open with Steph Curry, Luka and Kyrie ain't finna help do you know better. They ain't, and then they not looking to pass. They looking to pass when, I don't have my shot. They're not looking to pass like, I see Clay, I got you. Do it, run that down screen. I got him like that. They looking like, oh, I jumped, he got it. Here, catch that, shoot that, Clay. He ain't finna. I don't think he made them better, and then he definitely made them weaker on the defensive end because they got rid of Derrick Jones Jr. So you got Kyrie, Luka, and Clay. Who guard? They put and the West. Who you putting on Anthony Edwards and Devin Booker? Which guy? You know what I'm saying?
It's gonna look like when Bradley Beal tried to guard Ant-Man. We seen what it looked like.
It look crazy. Now, Luka is still great enough to get them. He can get you over the hump, right? He can. Let me pray. Luka is still good enough, and you know I'm a Luka hater. He is still good enough to get you to Western Conference Final just because he's that much of a problem. But as far as getting them to win a championship or like beat the Celtics, I don't think that helped them. Actually, I think it harmed them because again, if y'all play the Celtics, you gotta guard Jason Tatum and you gotta guard Jaylen Brown. And Derek White. All of them are. Which one is who y'all guard? Who you guard? So you
don't forget about Drew though.
Drew too. Yeah. So I don't think it was a move that would get them to beat the Celtics or win. I think you can still get there off the strength of Luka.
I think it's unfair for you to say that until they make another move because I think they're gonna make another chess move.
Okay.
To add an additional player to Dallas. You know, people don't like to move to certain teams until they see how good they are and how they could fit in that particular thing. So you know how them folks in Boston, they just kept stacking and stacking and stacking, and all the pieces made sense, and we didn't believe it until we seen it, right? So I think it's easy for us to write off and sign off on Philly. It's easy for us to sign off on Dallas until they make that one pivotal move, and we like,
yeah.
Now it'll make a little bit more sense. You never know who's tired of their situation and going to turn around and sell out and go to Dallas for less money just to win.
Yeah, it's true, man.
Okay,
that's true.
Okay,
Go ahead.
What y'all think? Let's go back to the East. What do y'all think about the Bucks? If they was healthy, do y'all think they would have beat Boston?
I believe in the Bucks, man. I believe in Giannis. I think Giannis is he's one of those guys. He's just one of those guys. He's a generational talent, man. Look at Ted. Bro. He's one of the guys. I think because Dame was hooping. He
needed Giannis.
He needed Giannis. Dame did his thing. Dame was like, all right, I guess I got to go back to Portland, and he started hitting all them shots that he was missing in the regular season. He needed Giannis. I believe in him. I actually got the Bucks as number 3 on my power rankings, man. I
just think that they linked up 2 seasons too late.
You think Dame is at the time? You think it's done? You think Dame on the?
I think that he right out at that bubble. He can still hoop and he's crazy. But when it comes to like how much left that you got in your tank, I ask the same questions about Giannis. Giannis is a workhorse. Giannis is a generational talent. But at the end of the day, if you can't hit the free throws in the clutch moments, then it's like, can you even be in the game? Your availability is the number one specialty, no matter how good of a player you is. Like all these hooping offensive caliber people, and they stay hurt. They don't matter how good they is and how good they can shoot and how good they can score if they can't stay on the court. And then with Giannis, if you can't make the damn free throw, why are you going to have him in the game? And then if those particular situations, is Dame going to be the closer? Yes, Dame has had a lot of closing moments, but also Dame has not had a lot of playoff moments that were super loud. He's had like little spurts and everything like that. And I understand that he was a victim of seeing prime Golden State, and it was sad to see. But at the end of the day,
that good ass Rock team and them James Harden teams.
Exactly. He had to deal with that type of mess. Them James Harden in the prime and then the dynasty with the Golden State Warriors. But now you in the East, right? And the East ain't no pushovers or whatever the case may be, but they not as stacked as the West. So why are you not dominating? I think that the window is like we pretty much on the last limb of how good this team is going to be. Because at the end of the day, it's safe for me to say in the last 15 years that Giannis had the weakest chip against the Suns. That was the weakest win I've seen in the last 15 years. And at the end of the day, when he won, he had a lot of casuals saying, hey, he about to go back to back. Can't nobody stop him. He's like the modern day Shaq. But at the end of the day, if modern day Shaq don't got modern day Kobe, they not going to win.
That's true. That's true, man.
I feel like I feel like they needed Clay. They needed Clay more than Dallas.
Mm. I can see how that could work for him. I can see how
it'd be cool with Chris and Clay, but then also
give him some more space. Maybe give Giannis a little bit more space.
yeah, give you more space. But damn, you think Dame gonna give you them looks? Dame more of a Jack than Steph.
Same category.
But I'm saying he would give you more looks than Kyrie and Luka. That's two ball dominant players.
I can't agree.
You think? Oh wait. So we're talking about what? As far as like a ball usage, you think?
Yeah.
I'm talking about Ted. You said you can't agree.
I can't agree because I think that Damian Lillard today is the number one used pick and roll guy besides Steph. So in those particular situations, like he is gonna go look for his shot no matter what. He looked for his shot more than he was looking for Giannis. So you think he gonna be looking for Clay?
Yeah, that's fair. Luka do average 10 assists. Luka do pass it. He may not want to, but he do.
But that's what I'm saying.
How many times he passing at the double team though?
I agree.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Initially, it's only because he has to, but he does. I'm out here. I'm not.
I agree with you, but at this
how
point,
many times it's a last shot type
but
situation?
at this point of Damian's career, he's not getting double teamed like that. So at the end of the day, there's somebody still on Clay versus Luka. Luka is an automatic double team. Dame doesn't get double teamed as much at this point in his career. So then there's always going to be somebody face guarding Clay, in my opinion.
That's a fact. Giannis ain't a good enough passer for me to believe.
I think that the window is closing. Boo Bucks.
So what you got? You got them. You ain't got them competing with the.
I got New York, Boston killing everybody.
I ain't mad at that. That ain't crazy. That ain't too crazy.
But I feel like the East is up for grabs. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like Miami will put out a team and go to the finals.
That's your bias talking, Ken. That's your bias talking.
But am I
Ken.
lying though?
No, you
ain't.
Am I lying? You ain't. But that's your bias talking. If Tyler Hero can't stay healthy, what y'all talking about over there?
Yeah, facts. I feel like the same thing with the 76ers. If they can't stay healthy, it just depends on who healthy.
That just circle back to my biggest point. Your biggest specialty is availability. If you can't show that, you ain't gonna win.